this panel, which is formally, it's the first time we're putting together this one map and the one UN Situation Room update. But we intend to have a discussion on it, so we intend to hear from you. So we present, but then we have discussion. I will ask Esri as well, and I should, from the start in this panel, to share with everyone that Esri has been our foundational partner number one, to the point that the platform that we have online, operational, has been supported pro bono by Esri since day one, 1 year ago. They won 1 year ago, and continues to be this way. So we ask kindly Carmel and Adam to present. The intent is to present also the technical challenges for the agencies, for the network, to understand what is coming ahead, what is coming. So, but we'll have also a presentation from YCT, the Geographic Information Section, to focus on the one map, because the one map is, we will discuss it because it has been there for a while in the UN system. But with this initiative, we are intending these to become available for humanity. So it's a big jump, and so, but we need to understand from the heart of the. I asked a colleague from Blocha, please take it. We have
I'm recording it there.
But we have seats available on the tables.
That's all right.
So basically, the OICT geographic measure section will also explain better the one map, what is called the one base map, the one clear map. This is valid for the UN system itself, and still we have a long way to go for the 42, 65 agencies, specialized agencies, funds, programs, to use a one map. So the challenge is still for the UN, but by using it in the one UN situation room, we want these to become available for the world. Okay, so basically there's a lot of discussion there as well. Okay? And last but not least, we have the intent to have a very good listening mode from around the table on the content, services, and the technicalities, in order that we could have a technical review board on moving forward, because we are going to move forward in implementing the platform, which means that we want to be guided from the experts on the technical implementation. And this requires a lot of discussion. So that's all we have for this session of 2 hours before we go for, I like the name networking lunch, for the networking lunch. But we have from now and the next 2 hours, we are a bit late on time, so let's try to finish by 12:30 in order that we can continue. Is that okay? Okay, let's kickstart. Put together, so I should stand, it's better than so let me open the hostilities with the one map and the idea, and there will be a video running. I'm not sure if I let the video run and then I speak, or if I speak along the video. I think I'm going to speak along the video in some areas, and then we post. By the way, this is all about the UN Geospatial Network. It's about us, about us and our partners. The starting point of these, we should start from the beginning, is about, we launched 5 years ago a mission. Our mission was geospatial, use geospatial for a better world, transforming the lives of people, places, and planet. So this first section is what we have, our work is about people, places, and planet. That's our impact. That's who we are impacting. All of this challenge we have on all the different areas is about 8 billion people, is about more than 193 countries, is about one planet. Okay? Driving these, fundamental element is data. Fundamental element is geospatial. Okay? how we can use a simple representation of the world. Oh, we need a mic.
Yes, it's better. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So how we can use a simple representation of the world of having one map. And let me go back to the history of the geospatial and the maps in the UN. Okay, it's not easy to understand that we can all use one map, and we will listen about the technicalities of that. But the reality is that still today, the United Nations don't use in practice one map. Okay? I can tell you stories about how this can be used for the UN system itself, that's a good start. But then we want to use it for humanity, we want to use it for countries, we want to use it for service, for communities. Again, I go back to our strength is these 42 UN entities. If we bring together the 42 UN entities to use a one map to service one humanity, okay? But the strength is the 42 UN entities together, okay? We have put together some building blocks of the way to build this. And we start from the base map, the one map, okay? And if this is of impact and relevance, we should search, for instance, for displaced population. And here I thank the colleagues from IOM and UNHCR that put together on real time, on near real time, the data and information around the world, from the global to the very local, on displaced population all over the world. You cannot imagine the amount of work to build all this together. But now let's imagine that we have an event like the climate change event, like tropical cyclones. And we have there the layer of the tropical cyclones that impacts the areas of Mozambique, Madagascar, Malawi, but also, of course, the Caribbean, but also in the Southeast Asia area. And you have the information that how these impact on the GDP agriculture. Now look at our colleague from World Bank, Brian, and the GDP agriculture. What's the socio-economic destruction impact of tropical cyclones on the GDP agriculture? So, 3 layers that interconnected tells us a story about humanity. Okay, we just use these as a good example of putting in one map, 3 layers: the displaced population, the tropical cyclones, and GDP agriculture impact. And then we try to build an analytics on top of these on the climate refugee, because if there's displaced people, those people can be related with some kind of more intelligence for analytics on top of that. That's the purpose. So one map, layers of information coming distributed from many different entities with quality validated data, and then building a climate analytics intelligence action on top of that. That's simple. But in order to do this, again, I go back to the challenge. If we have 42 UN entities and partners working in this direction, the power of doing this. That's what we have put together, what we call nexus. And let's think on one nexus, because everyone, it's a big priority for us. Environment, climate, resilience, it's a big priority for the whole geospatial community and GNF. And then we have put together, as a good demonstration that we need to kickstart and to lead by example and say, a number of layers on the environment for doing it. Okay? And you can see well, why these layers? Because they are available, they are real time, they are available online, and the one map platform can just connect through APIs to these pointers. What we have done for the environment, we need to do for all the other pillars. We need to do for across the 42 areas. But why we are doing this? We are doing this for impacting in countries accelerate SDGs. So it's not for the sake of having a one map platform with the UN system data available. It's for the sake of impacting in countries, accelerating, providing capacity building, implementing the IGF in countries, and actually impacting on communities. That's the next step. So how we leverage the one map platform with the one humanity layers into impacting all these different communities. I will raise again the point. It's not only about accelerating SDGs. It's more about impacting on the countries. and it's impacting at the global level first, national level, then local level, and then finally community level? Or should I start the other way around? Starting on community level, going local, then national, then. So what I'm trying to say here is the following. I'm very happy that for the first time we'll be able to put together the whole UN system and partners, putting a one map with the layers of information. But still so, that's for us. So the next step is how this is going to be externalized, how to impact on the real world, on the communities. I will not suggest, and we can discuss that, I always suggest we walk on two legs, like humans, since billions of years ago, okay? We walk in two legs. At the same time, we strengthen the base, we strengthen the collaboration, the layers of the UN system, partners, etc. We also need to start to work on the impact on the countries. Because our real relevance is the impact in countries, okay? So it's a two legs approach on how to make these things happen. I would suggest, again and again during these 2 days, I need the UN agencies to step forward. I need our WHO data. I need the UNESCO data. Why do I pick these two fellows? Because they are leading the networks. If they're leading the network, they have to give example. So we need to bring these layers of information on the health, on the education, the information across the entities, and we need to make those nexus apps there functional. So when we click in land use, and I'm looking now at Carl, because when I click, if there's one agency across the 42 that does not have any spare need of geospatial data, is FAO. So we need the FAO data on land use to be available, because we need these layers. We can start to discuss which kind of layers we need there, but I would more suggest FAO has a number of processes internally to decide which kind of layers could be relevant to make shareable across a platform like this. And then we need to point, we have in place a fantastic team to help to make the pointers and the user APIs and web services and to link that. Again, we are not centralizing anything into the one map platform. We are federating and linking with the hub and spoke model with the web service and APIs, and this is happening. So, if today is day one, in 1 year from now, we should have perfectly functional links there, where they will be at any time uplifting, upgrading, upscaling the information available. This is good because about how we implement methodologies, partnerships, and focus. But it's also important to understand, we started the remarks today with the GGIM architecture. And there's a lot of work done before on defining fundamental data teams. The 14, is it 14? Sorry, it's 14 fundamental data teams. So we can enrich the platform by kickstarting on fundamental data teams. And again, those fundamental data teams goes on environment, on water within the environment. And then we can build on, because there's a number of working groups of GGM working already on these. It's much easier for that. Imagery and Earth observations, it's a huge amount of work done there. So the proposal is not only the 42 agencies step up to put information there, but we will bring this information on the fundamental data teams into the platform, because this will help us to be much more successful, to leapfrog some of these areas. And we can continue to go. This is a good example of how, imagining that already we have in place the different information on the fundamental data teams. One of them is environment and water. And then we just overlay this information in the one map. Okay? As simple as that. By the way, this is working, and I will thank again and again Ashley. This is working, and so it's not a mock-up, it's not a video, just done for the purpose of the launch and presentation. Is working. So the more I can imagine from now until next year, 1 year time, the more rich layers of information we have available, the more they can be overlaid in the platform, and we can start to build stories, and we can start to construct narratives and start to impact on communities. And this is all about, again, following the strategic orientation and priorities. One of the stories that we have been focusing is on resilience, disaster risk management, early warning, climate, environment. This is not because I'm UNEP as well. This is because the GGIM has defined as a priority area the early warning, climate, resilience as a priority. So, and this brings us back to, we have to have areas of priority, and we will just leapfrog by putting the one map to service those priorities. So that's the orientation we got. The second priority, we're already doing it by having available platform. The second priority of UNGGIM is on information ecosystems. So that's what our platform it is. Okay? So we are driving on the priorities of the GGIM, the countries highlighted as priorities of GGIM. One is the early warning, climate, resilience, environment. The other is the building and setting up information ecosystems for geospatial. Okay? So we are tackling directly those two big priorities. Okay? And now listening to the, I'm not sure if we listened, I don't think so, but the Secretary General, that's what you see, about the big priority of putting alert information systems to early warnings in all the countries of the world until 2027. So 50% of the countries of the world, 50% of people, places, and planet is more than 50% because the developing world has much less of early warning systems to tackle natural disasters. Okay, so the purpose is we will have to build use cases of all these use of the one map, following the priorities that the GGIM has guided us. Okay, so that's the last message I have here for the how to go about building it, to implement it.
People need adequate warning to prepare for extreme weather events. That is why I'm calling for universal early warning coverage in the next 5 years. Early warning systems and the ability to act on them are proven lifesavers.
That's it. We'll see you.